wanted more, but I didn't want to do it again, and the production was not good. So as I was starting thinking about like re-putting the podcast back together again, I realized I did not want to do the podcast alone.
Really do love is how all of our guests are aligned and they have the same values. And that's something that I'm noticing.
I'm going to be one of the best in my city. And that's what drove me to do everything that I did. So now that podcasts is a thing, nobody watches TV anymore. They watch this podcast. So this would have definitely changed and made an impact in my life.
Because I ain't going to hold you. That first film day, I was like, woo, this is a lot. But I knew it was so fun. I was like, I can't wait until the next one. You know. Babe, I couldn't. Woo.
Welcome to another episode of Salon Talk Literally, the podcast where we dive into a world of beauty, business, and everything in between.
We're here to bring you the real, the raw, and of course, the literal truth about what it's like working in the beauty industry with a few laughs along the way.
And we've got a really dope guest lined up for you today. All right, now let's get into today's topic. Trust me, you literally don't want to miss this one.
Let's do it.
Let's go. Welcome to an exclusive episode of Salon Talk Literally. I'm Key.
And I'm Diamond.
Welcome, and we are here today to give you an exclusive episode as to who we are. We have gotten a lot of feedback from our viewers, and you guys want to know more. You want to know how we met, how we came to doing the podcast together, and just kind of more information about us. So we are here to give you the answers to your questions.
Yes, so we have been reading the comments. We have got a lot of personal feedback from family and friends. And like he said, y'all want to know more about us. So we want to get into it. And we just want to let y'all in on how we met, how this transpired, and how we brought the podcast to life, right?
Yes. So we do want to do that. We want to talk about it because it's so important. And I want to give y'all that because I did feel like when we did our first episode, we kind of didn't get into that a lot, but we just kind of told our stories as to how we came to Dallas. So we do want to go and make sure that we do answer your questions. So with that being said, like, do you want to go first, Diamond, or do I,
I mean, we can just get into the story as far as how this came about. So
yeah, let's talk about that.
Let's start
because,
at the beginning point.
Like, the first part was, like, I did come with the whole concept of doing the podcast. It was just first starting out as me doing it. But I had invited Diamond on a show, on my original show, along with a couple of other stylists. And we had a great time, but the production sucked. Like, I really hated the production.
It was the production for sure.
I hated it. But we had a good time as women. We was in here having a ball. And we really wanted more. Like, I wanted more, but I didn't want to do it again, and the production was not good. So as I was starting thinking about like re-putting the podcast back together again, I realized I did not want to do the podcast alone. So I wanted to get a co-host with me to go on this journey. And being the fact that me and Diamond have, I feel like when things are supposed to be aligned, it is aligned. Like, we always have been Instagram besties, like Instagram besties, and I always admire her work ethic.
Likewise.
I always admire her work and everything like that. So I already knew, like, when she came in to do the podcast, I knew her personality and it aligned with my personality. So I knew that she would be a great co-host going forward. And so that's why I extended the invitation for you to do this with me.
Yes,
and
I'm so grateful.
Did it. So I was so grateful for that. But we both prayed about it. We both knew that God had made this a big purpose for our lives. And so it kind of brought us together. So and it's just been great ever since.
It has been. And I mean, even before we made the decision to do the podcast, like, I feel like there were little seeds planted because I remember when you first reached out to me, she was like, hey, I think you DM'd me on Instagram or something, and you was like, I met somebody that didn't know you.
Yes.
And I was like, who? And you was like, your aunt or somebody. And I'm like, girl, who?
I thought you now you see how I am with names, right?
Yeah.
So I could have been wrong on the auntie, cousin, whoever.
Right. Because I'm like, who is it that know me, that you met or whatever. Yeah. So, and then, we kind of started liking each other's pictures or whatever. And I don't know, it's like, when you're drawn to somebody, you're like, I don't know why I feel like I'm drawn to this person or whatever. So, like he said, we both we both prayed about it, and then we just agreed that we were gonna be partners and just see it through.
Absolutely.
And we don't know what the future holds, but what we do know now is that, hey, we here, we doing it, and we figuring it out as we go.
We figuring it out as we go. And I feel like, people always come with this whole thing in social media aspects of, not dealing with people and staying to yourself and cutting people off.
Yeah.
Like, look, it's not the season for that. Like,
Yeah.
if God is speaking to you in your heart to tell you to connect
Yep.
with people, connect with people.
Yep.
Like, especially, you just got to go off of discernment. You got to go off of, the alignment, just making sure
Yeah.
that this person align with what you believe in
Yeah.
and what you doing. And that so that y'all can see a bigger vision of what it is, all
Mhm.
together. So I'm very grateful that we went ahead and just really we go into this like hard together. Like we put everything into this podcast. It's not one person pulling on
Mhm.
than the other. We both
Yep.
put the same amount of energy into it, and that's what it's all about in
That's why it
partnership.
works.
So, and that's why it works. So I'm just so grateful for it, and we have so fun.
We
Like,
have a lot
on
of
the set.
fun. Yeah.
We really do. I'll be like, and this is crazy. You see how we dress today, y'all?
Yeah,
Like, we do
plan it.
not come in here purposely trying to dress
We
alike.
don't.
Like, that's how you know when it's alignment, because
Mhm.
when you come in and then y'all can just coordinate y'all outfit. Like, what you got? Oh,
Yeah.
you got red on? You
Yeah,
got
like,
red, so
let's
you
just
put it
make
on.
it look
Okay,
good.
well, we
Let's
gonna
make
put
it
it on
flow.
together.
Yeah.
So then that's what we do, and we put it on, and we just get out here and we have a good time. Like, this is just another part of our journey where we enjoy doing it. Like, we
Mhm.
enjoy coming every day, and we giving y'all people's stories, and we
Yeah.
giving experiences that we went through, that we know you can go
Yep.
through or you can relate to in this industry. So I just enjoy it. I never thought how it would be with doing podcasts, but I knew that it was another side of me that that required me to talk.
Yeah.
That required me to kind of like let people know who I am.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna ask you, like, when did you get the idea to be like, I want to start a podcast specifically?
you know what? When I was doing the school or whatever, oh my God, it was so much work into putting and
Yeah.
getting the school started, right? So I was kind of mentally drained, but I always had the entertainment side of me that I've always carried in the past. And so I used to do like shows and stuff like that. I
Mhm.
used to do things that was still on the entertainment
Yeah.
side. So I was like, doing a podcast is so great, because then I can sit here and talk about my true feelings and
Yeah.
talk about, I know people have experienced the same thing I had. So let's kind of like get together and talk
Yeah,
about
let's
it.
talk about it.
So then I looked at that. I was like, and then that could be another source as to what draws people to know about my school.
Mhm.
It was another part of
It's
I
kind of like
looked
a
at it like it was
vehicle.
another
Yeah.
vehicle that drove it into knowing,
Yeah.
to my school. So I was like, wow, if I utilize two parts of this, then it
can
will
all
all
work
come
together.
together. Yes.
That's
So
smart.
that's what made me do it. And
Mhm.
so I was like, I'm going to try it. It was basically like stepping my head out
Yeah.
there, like just trying something. And when I seen, the vision was clear, but it
Mhm.
just, how to do it was just still unclear.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because that
So-
first day we had a
Girl, we was trying to, my whole idea with the Instagram thing was just crazy. It was
yeah, because we
screaming.
wanted it to be. I think
I wanted
You
it to
wanted
be
it to be like
virtual,
a live event.
Yeah, I wanted it live. I
but
think that's what it was.
Yeah.
I wanted it raw and live. And so that's what kind of made it, the production so bad, because yeah, it just did not go
Yeah,
right.
just trying to
Yeah,
get
trying to
everybody
get it.
on one accord with the phones and stuff.
Yeah.
So we are so grateful for our producer
Yes.
because he has really played a major part in this, because we wouldn't be able to do
Absolutely.
it without him.
No, no,
'Cause,
no,
baby,
no,
who finna
no,
be
no
propping
way.
the phone up
Girl,
every time?
but it's so crazy. I'm gonna just be honest with y'all. We thought we could do it without him. I did. I thought we could, because I was like, oh, girl, I got a videographer.
Yeah. Look,
That's
yeah.
Tony, y'all.
Shout out to
Yeah,
Tony.
shout out to Tony. That's Tony, y'all.
Yes.
I was like, all we gotta do is just put the camera up here, and we can just talk, and we can just.
Yeah, and it's like,
It's not that easy,
It's
y'all.
not.
Like, we literally I'm gonna tell you how our production days goes. Our filming day goes like this.
mhm.
We literally wake up probably like 5 or 6 in the
Yeah, I
morning.
was up at 5:30.
Yes.
Yeah.
5 or 6 in the morning. We got makeup scheduled at 7:30 in the morning.
On top of kids. We got kids too.
You got to drop your daughter off. I don't even see my daughter get off to school because I'm gone before she goes to school. So then I get here because I have to let Tony in so he can get set up with all the equipment. And he has so much equipment. It takes him about 2 hours to set everything up. Yeah. So while we're getting makeup done, he's setting up. Make sure everything is lined up. The mics is on. We got to print out questions and cards and get ready for our guests. We're up the night before preparing and prepping. We're bringing outfits and clothes.
To have food.
So shout out if you got anybody that's wardrobe stylist that would like to be a part of our team. Please hit us up, because we would love to have that. It would cut away some things that we already do. So we have to get our clothes in order, whatever food we have to prepare for the day because we can't leave. So we need to have food on set. We have to be able to eat, schedule a break in so we can eat. We're in between clients. We got to go change, in between our guests, and we have to go and change because mind you, I don't think we ever mentioned we do all day filming for 6 episodes in one day.
Yeah.
We do 6 episodes in one day.
Yeah.
So we're changing 6 times in one day. So we film all day. And we love it that way, though, because we knock out our filming
our
for
content
1 day.
For a month.
Yes, for a month. So that's how we do things. And so we try to give y'all an insight of how it goes and how it is to start a podcast between us two. But you let what else did they want to know?
I think the main questions. Oh, okay, yeah.
Because you see a lot of the questions.
Yeah. I think the main questions was people just want to know how did we meet?
Yeah.
How did this even come about? Because, when people see me, they've never seen me with you or you with me. So they're
because we never hung out a lot outside. We never hung out
we
outside.
didn't. It was just
just was it's so crazy.
Minds
but
connected.
It's just
it was this is what we gonna do.
So that's probably why people are wondering.
Yeah,
because they're I ain't never seen y'all on pictures together. Or y'all real friends?
Yeah,
stuff like that. Yeah,
but it's just a great partnership. But let me ask you this: how do you feel now that we have started to produce this and we have episodes that are actually out into the world now? How do you feel about it?
I feel so blessed. I really do. When I see it from a viewer's point, we look good.
Yeah.
Not only that, we giving so much information. We're giving. I feel like the industry needed this.
Yeah.
I feel like this was the dream that I was thinking about with the podcast.
Yeah.
It's coming to fruition to what I actually imagined with the
it to
podcast.
be.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do. And so now that you asked me that, how do you feel being that you did accept it? Let's do this. Is it everything that you kind of was envisioning?
It is. I've always felt like I would have to use my voice. I watch podcasts every day, 24/7. So I'm a huge podcast fan. And I used to always say, I'm going to have my own podcast one day. So it was just kind of speaking it, but not knowing when it would happen. Then the opportunity presented itself at the right time. And it just felt right. But I feel good, being able to see it. It's kind of cringy hearing me speak on camera. I can't lie.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm country. I'm from Mississippi. I'm
but you be sounding so good.
I sound like cornbread. I'm but I'm listen, this is me.
To play with you
look, this is all I can do. You know what I'm saying? I always say, if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna be myself doing it.
Absolutely.
And so,
but what you be hearing my little outbursts on the outside. I'm I just be rambling.
Me too. I be rambling too.
I just be talking, and I be probably not realizing I didn't talk too much else. But I don't think it's gonna be perfect.
But it's
I feel
not be perfect.
We are doing good, to me.
I feel like we're doing great, and it's not about us at the end of the day.
It's
about what we can put out into the world.
Absolutely.
And what I really do love is how all of our guests are aligned and they have the same values. And that's something that I'm noticing.
Mind you, y'all, we just be picking.
We just pick.
We send the invitation out to people. If they accept it, but we already know that once we throw it out, whoever accepts it is in line with us anyway. But to see them actually be like that,
when they are here in this chair and they start speaking,
listen, y'all are in for a treat, because I'm telling you, these ones for today,
They were heavy hitters.
Ooh.
They were so good.
Like, we got to get a couple of part 2s back. Like, seriously.
Probably about 3 or 4 parts. I'm actually feeling like everybody that has come, I really want to hear them again, and I want to know more about them.
Now, and if we, just imagine if we want to hear more,
other people
they're going to want to hear more too.
Because just like with our second episode, you know, I went to an event and it was a friend, Bree's client event, and she was like, she wants to hear more. She was like, I watched the episode, it was great. And she was like, I want to hear more. I want to know, I just want to know more. And I'm like, wow, like people are really watching it. And even if they are not commenting, like people are watching.
Oh, yes. They might not comment, but they're still looking.
They're looking.
Yes.
And so it just makes me feel good to know that we are making a difference. And that all of our guests are aligned. We hadn't had no like crazy stuff. We had to be like, all right now.
Fingers. We have not.
We're not going to have none.
And we not going to have none, because I'm not speaking that in here. But that's why I said I feel like everybody is supposed to be.
They are.
Like, to where, let me tell y'all how crazy it is as far as an alignment. Like, me and Diamond already don't be planning coordination, but we end up coordinating, right?
Every time.
They come in and coordinate with us.
They really do.
We be like,
oh, this close. We all look great.
We all matching. That's
time.
how you know that it be in alignment, you know? And so that's so important. So we know that this podcast is special. I'm speaking it over anything going. I know the full purpose behind this podcast, and it's gonna do great. Like,
it is,
and it's gonna change a lot of people's lives. It's going to give people hope, and it's going to give them the motivation that they need to keep pushing in their careers and to be an inspiration like they see other people are. You know, you never know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So now that makes more sense. So if we had things like this, and when we were coming up,
I would have binge watched it.
Listen, I would have stayed on the whole network, like the whole, you know, the channel, and just hit every episode and went down, because everyone's going to give you something you can take out of it, right? At my time of my career building, this was not even an option. Okay. We had to purchase like courses, like course tapes to kind of get information, I believe at the time. Or we had to go actually and get one-on-one. Like it was a time where I was just craving trying to find people I can go learn from. And it didn't matter if they was clear on the others in another state. I was taking a flight. I was going to them. Like, because that's how much I wanted to be great. Like, I knew in my heart, I'm like, I'm going to be one of the best in my city. And that's what drove me to do everything that I did. So now that podcasts is a thing, nobody watches TV anymore. They watch this podcast. So this would have definitely changed and made an impact in my life. I feel like.
I know it would. I would definitely binge watch it, because I binge watch other people's podcasts all the time. And so now that there is a podcast specifically for beauty professionals, but not limited to. I mean, all the information is going to be there. We've already covered networking, credit, finance. You know, we had insurance. It just everything that you could possibly think of that you would.
Oh my God! Just imagine it's so much more like to this.
It's so much more.
We not talking about just.
It's like, not just beauty. It's like
we talk about everything
that
makes your career go as a beauty professional. You know, all the different things that ties you to really being a professional, like taking this to a career, you know? So that people don't talk on a lot. You know, we talk about customers, we talk about stylists and the unprofessionalism and stuff like that, but it's so many more layers to it.
So many.
So I can't wait to like get down to the nitty gritty, like,
I know, me either.
And stuff like that too. Cause we constantly, you know, we appreciate the ones that have been following us and have been starting this journey with us. That we are new to the podcast scene, so we appreciate everything, and we're just doing everything that we can to kind of improve it and to make it better and better as we are filming every time. So, any suggestions y'all have,
feedback,
feel free to give it to us. We are so
constructive
open.
Criticism as well.
Yes, so we can be great. We just want to make sure that we're giving out the right content. We want to make sure that we are providing y'all with the right information. We want to make sure that just everybody is aligned with what they need, you know, what our viewers are needing. So, Yeah, that's what I say. And so yeah, just continue to support us by subscribing to our channel, and you'll be getting notifications on when we're dropping episodes. We drop them every Friday. So if you don't know, that's when we drop them. So we'll be dropping a new episode this Friday. Continue to support the channel and share it. Share it as well. Like, let everybody know.
Please.
And if you also, if we have not reached out to you, feel free to reach out to us. We love for you guys to let us know what you're doing. You know, we might not know who you are. We might need to discover who you are, you know, things like that. But if you're open and wanted to share a lot of your experiences or whatever that cater to the guests, hit us up, me or Diamond. Like, we will gladly, you know, speak to you and get you on the show. So yeah.
Yes.
Anything else we want to give them? Okay.
Oh, yeah. So for anyone out there that is afraid to start something new, whether that's a podcast or a new business venture, my advice would be is to just take the first step. You're not going to have everything figured out. Just take the first step, and God will begin to reveal the plan to you as you make that first step. Just like when we decided that we wanted to do the podcast, initially we were going to book a podcast studio in Dallas, right?
Yes.
So we were going to book a studio. We were like, okay, we're going to go do this and we're going to go do that, you know. And then we started thinking like, okay, no, this is not the right route to go. And then some way, somehow, Keith stumbled upon Tony in like a Facebook group or something. And so it was like, okay, yeah, like this is the kid, you know, he is the
Cause I was
person
not
that we need.
when I discovered Tony. Before that, I was already looking at him for something totally different. But before that, you know, I consider Diamond as my co-host too. I'm like, she has a little one, you know, and she still has to think about her and get her and things like that. And, you know, even though my kids are older, I didn't want to put her in a position where she has to go far and gotta go here, there, you know, everywhere.
Like an hour.
Yeah, and it would just kind of like mess up the production time and everything. So it had to make sense, right? So I'm like, if we can find someone that can come to us, where we have a stationary place where we can meet in the middle, we can come
and
here.
And it's so perfect.
And it was so perfect. Like, I prayed about it, and then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back to that dude, Tony. He said he do this.
Yeah.
And I went and I contacted him. I didn't know what was going to come out there, but let me tell you something. If you don't be scared to reach out to people, because this has changed dramatically for us. Like, this is how we all had the same vision, same goals. We get in meetings. We talk a lot through the whole process. Like, everybody has to be on one accord, okay, for it to work. And so I'm just so grateful, because I feel like these are my teams. You know, we work really well together. We have an understanding. We have, you know, if it's something we need to discuss, we're going to discuss it, you know, things like that. So when you're starting a podcast, just make sure all these things are in the front of your mind while you're thinking about it, because, you know, it has to add up.
Yeah.
It has to add up. So
yeah, everything has to.
I don't think we could have did this no other way. Like, I really feel like, and then
this was the
another
way.
thing, it was like crazy, because I'm like, we are talking about salon and beauty thing. It only makes sense to do it in the hair salon.
The salon. And remember, initially you were like, I don't know, you know, because, you know, you spend a lot of time here, and I understand it. So sometimes you like, I need a different setting. You know, like, I want to be somewhere else. But I'm happy that you were like, you came back around and you were like, okay, like, let's do it here.
Yeah.
And one thing that
I was like, this sets us apart. It's everybody's podcast that I do see their own, you know, chairs, nice sofas,
like couches and stuff. And so
like
it only feels right for us to be in the salon, in salon chairs.
Salon chairs.
It's salon
bring in
talk,
the
literally.
organic, the regular, you know, salon talk concept to life.
Yeah. I love that. Me too.
Like, literally.
Yeah. Yes. And I like I agree with you when you say that we work well together as a team. And I think that communication is what is going to get us far. You know, effective communication is just making sure that the three of us, you know, we're going to be adding people to our team soon, but just making sure that everybody is on one accord, and we may not always have the same exact vision, but it's as long as we can get close to it, sometimes, you may have to sway one way or whatever, we just got to work together and just allow each other to be creative.
Absolutely.
And that's what I love about us.
I feel like it's open enough to where like we can do that. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
Like you have an idea. I'm like, yeah, that sounds dope. Like we have to plan it out. Like let's do that. Yeah. Or if I got my idea, I'm like, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, because I know me, I'll get to thinking about like, and it just be in my head and I'll be going on and on. And I'm just like, we need to do this. We need to do it like this. Or we should do this. Or I'm thinking about this. Oh, maybe we do it. Then it be just in my head. And I'm like, Donna, what you think?
Yeah.
What you think about it? So it's just about like really being able to communicate and being able to be open and to be able to compromise on being on the same,
because that's what relationships are all about. Like everything not gonna always be a straight line, but as long as we still have the same vision at the end of the day. So that's all that matters.
The vision is clear. And so we're just so grateful. We're just so grateful for people, just the responses that we're getting. We're so grateful for the guests is so happy to even be on here.
They
like
really
they don't even want to leave. Like we be having so much fun. In the podcast. So believe it or not, like I know people don't know what it all takes to do this, but at the same, it's hard work, but it's also fun.
It's rewarding
at the same time. So
to see the finished product for sure. When you actually see, because I ain't gonna hold you. That first film day, I was like, woo, this is a lot. But I knew it was so fun. I was like, I can't wait until the next one.
You know. It drained us bad.
Babe,
I'm telling you, about our fourth episode, we was like,
we were down and out. My throat was like dry. I said, yeah, let me go chill out for a few days.
We was running up out of here. But you know what? And then we slept on it. It was laughing like, woo, I like that. That was fun, So we just couldn't wait to drop it so you guys can see what you think about it. And I know you're going to enjoy so much more episodes to come. So we just thank you.
So what's next for the pod? That's a great question. We are going to continue to interview dope guests and just keep our platform open for whoever is aligned with what we have going on.
Right. I see also some live
I see a live event going on. I see like a live event. I see like maybe like a small stage with a panel, and like a live of.
I don't see little things. I see big things coming on for the podcast. Panel public speaking. I see visionary meetings. I see live like broadcasting like questions and answers from you guys. We want to definitely engage with you all.
We definitely want to engage with you all.
Yeah, so we can know open. Like what you thinking, what you want to ask us. What do you feel like we can do as influencers? Like how can we help in any way? So we definitely want to hear back from y'all. So we have so much like that's yet to come, and we're putting in place for the next coming years. So I do see that.
Yeah, I'm with you. There. I definitely see the live events, networking events. Oh, man. More podcasts, exclusive content, longer form content. Like right now, we're in that 45 minutes to an hour, but sometimes like things take time and we may need 2 hours with a special guest.
Yes.
So I see that. It's just collaboration, and I just see it going up from here. Like I'm just open to
and also,
whatever.
I was going to say to y'all, like, if y'all know of someone that y'all feel would be a great asset to be on our show, tag them. Like, let them know about what we doing and let them see what we got going on and have them contact one of us.
Yeah. We actually, if you go to our YouTube, the YouTube in the links, you'll see a form. You can fill out that form, fill out all the information. It'll come straight to us. And we'll have all the information, your information. We can reach out to you and we can schedule like a quick call to see if, it's going to work for both of us. And then, we can go from there.
Yes. So thank you. We truly appreciate
all
the feedback. We came over here just to kind of give y'all a little question.
Yeah.
So we hope y'all enjoyed this exclusive video or episode. talk to y'all later.
See you later.